Dennis, let's talk about the future of Belgian football. If you could fast forward 10 years from now, how would you like Belgian football to look in terms of youth, women's league, and overall identity?
We had a really big discussion about it with all stakeholders the last half a year. We started about that with some with the people who came into the federation, like Vincent Manhart, who is really top, with some other people, Pierre Locht, who came into the federation. We had the stakeholders from the amateur wings with Johan Wallen and Bob Burwijs who were there, and we had a lot of discussions about how can we make some plan, how can we make a plan that will bring Belgian football to the next step in 2030. And of course, then it has to go further on and further on. So you have to be aware that what you do now in your academies, what you do now in your with your women's football, what you do now in everything that's happening in football, it will have an impact the next years. And you have to be aware that football also, the way it's been played is also evolving all the time. So you have to predict a little bit how you have to be in 2030. So made a plan with five important points, and I think it's a really good plan to start off. I think data is one of the typical thing that's in it. So data will be more and more important, but I really have to say, yeah, data is important, but it can't only be data that's telling you how to play the game, because a football player also have to have his own feeling, his own guts, his own he has to bring his own emotions into the game, also in the way he thinks, the tactical way he thinks. The data is very important, is a very important point. So I think the next few years there will be a lot of talk about it, but there will be also a lot of new steps taken in this area. And then, of course, with AI, it's evolving enormously. It's going really hard. Then infrastructure is also a really important part. It has to develop. It has to be better. If you look at some of our clubs, the infrastructure is really poor if you compare it with some countries around us. So we really have to evolve also over there. And then collaboration, for example, between amateur clubs and professional clubs to bring young people ready into elite clubs, to have more collaboration between those two, to bring the level of amateur football also to a higher level, to have more talents that are detected. And so those things are also really, really important. And then maybe the most important thing is writing a new development plan for the future. Football has evolved during the last 20 years, so we really need the new insights of football in that plan. And I think with all the stakeholders, we have to work really hard on that. And then the last thing I think that's important is being a center of excellence here in Belgium, being innovative, being the best of the smallest. And if you are really innovative and really good as a small country, you can beat big countries and you can set your foot against those countries. And that's what we are doing right now. There were some doubts about the new players in our national team. Are they so talented as the day before? They are different. Of course, it's a different generation. It's a new generation. But give them time. We have really a lot of talent coming up the next few years.
It's good for Belgium.
Yeah.